Hello everyone, you are welcome to the official YouTube channel of Lightway Research and Technology Center. I hope you are all doing great. Today I will take you through how to arrange time series data in Excel. Specifically, I will explain how to arrange monthly data in Excel and how to import it to Eviews for your statistical data analysis. Next, I will show you how to arrange quarterly data in Excel and also how to move it to Eviews. And the third part is going to be arrangements of annual data in Excel and how to import it to Eviews. Before I proceed, please subscribe to our channel if you are just joining us for the first time, and use the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we release new videos on research and data analysis. Let's get to work. Here I have my monthly data. You can see this particular document is saved with monthly data. The most important thing here is the first column. You have to indicate that you are dealing with a monthly data. So the first column, the first row in the first column must show the type of data you are dealing with, whether it is monthly, quarterly, or annual data. Here we are dealing with monthly data, so I have months, and the start year is 1985, and when you scroll down, you have the end year, which is 1995. Now, attached to 1985 is what? M01. That is January. M02 here stands for February. So if you want Eviews to understand the type of data you are dealing with, you need to attach the months to the year. So here you have 1985 month 1, that is January. 1985 month 2, that is February. 1985 month 3, that is March. Next column is variable, and here we have ASI, which is all share index. Next to it is MCAP, which is stock exchange market capitalization. If you have more variable, you just go to the next column, you enter the name in the first row and copy paste the value. You understand that, right? If you have another variable, next column, you enter the name. Let's assume I have exchange rates. I use this for my exchange rates. You can see I will just copy. The next thing is to just copy the value for month 1, month 2, month 3. But here I'm only dealing with 2 variables, so I delete that. Now if you look at it very well, the first row is to describe the variables in that particular in this particular Excel file. So we have months, which shows that we are dealing with monthly data. Next is ASI. It shows that all the values here are what? Are all share index. The same thing is applicable to the third column. Now let me highlight from here 1985 month 1 to this particular point is January 1985 to what? December 1985. So all the ones highlighted here, they are what? They are 1985 data. The only thing that distinguishes the data is what? The months, because time series is simply reverse to the changes over time. So this particular ones is the changes in the all share index from 1990 from 1st January 1985 to what? December 1985. Next to it is 1986. You can see I have something similar to the first year. 1986, from January, M01 stand for January, M02 stand for February, M03 stand for March, and so on and so forth. So this is how to arrange monthly data in Excel. You do the same thing for other years till the end. Here the last year is what? 1995. So you can see that I have data for January 1985, February, March, April, May, June, July, August till what? December. So this is a perfect arrangement of monthly data in Excel. Now let me take you through how to import this particular data to Eviews. Right here, I want to search for my Eviews software, so I click on it, I launch my Eviews. To import my data from Excel to Eviews, I will have to go to File, I click on Imports, then Import from File. So once I click on this, a new window will open. I save that particular data in this file, YouTube. So I click on it, then I select it here, monthly data. Next is to click on Open. Once another window has opened, you can see. So this is Eviews environment. You don't need to change anything here. The only thing you need to do is to click on Next. You can see we have the months, we have ASI or share index, stock market capitalization, MCAP. So you just click on Next. Don't change any of the items. Why? Because Eviews recognizes the type of data that I just imported. So you click on Next. You can see here we have name. It's automatically indicates without entering it that this is what? A monthly data. Do you know why? It's because I've already shown it in my Eviews that this particular data is what? Monthly data, months. This is it. So Eviews automatically recognizes it. Then I click on Next. This is the final stage. You can see basic structure. It shows that this is what? A date series. I don't need to change anything as I've said. And you can see here that the frequency is not alerted, so I cannot edit it. It's automatically recognized that this is what? A monthly data. So next thing I need to just do is what? To click on Finish. You don't need to change anything. You click on Finish. I'm not interested in linking this environment to any external source, so I click on No. Here I have my what? My data. You can see under the range, in front of this range, I have 1985 M01, that is January, to what? 1995 M12, that is December 1985. So if you want to confirm whether this particular data is the same with what you have in Excel file, what you just need to do is to right click on all the variables. You can either right click on the first one and highlight others, or you right click, you press down your control, then you click on MCAP, you click on MCAP and ASI. Then you right click on your system, you right click, you click on Open, you open as group. Once you open as group, you see your data. You can see this is 1985, the same thing we have in Excel. This is our ASI or share index, and this is our what? Our MCAP, stock market capitalization. And let's check the last items. You can see 1995 M12, that is December 1995. So the data here is not different from what we have in our Excel file. Next is to show you how to arrange your quarterly data in Excel. So I go here, I pick my file which I've already prepared and I open with Excel. Now you will notice that something has changed here. Something has changed in that first row. Instead of me to have months, and I have what? Quarter. So this shows that I am dealing with what? Quarterly data. And other ones are what? Variable. This MVA is manufacturing sector value added. Next to it is employment, followed by what? Capital. Next is what? Exchange rate. But I want you to take note of something here. This particular data starts from 1990 and it ends in 1997. But instead of M01, M02, M03 to M12, I now have what? Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 for 90 what? 1990. I want to highlight that part for you. Yes. And I have what? 1990 Q1, 1990 Q2, 1990 Q3, 1990 Q4. You know, we have just 4 quarters in a year. So each of those Q stands for what? A quarter. 1990 Q1 simply means quarter 1, 1990. Q2 means quarter 2. Q3 stands for what? Quarter 3. And Q4 is what? Quarter 4. So for quarter 1, this is the value of what? Manufacturing value added. This is the value of employment. This is the value of capital. This is the value of what? Exchange rates. For what? For quarter 1 in 1990. So the first, all this area that I highlighted stand for what? 1990 data. But differentiated by what? Quarter. The same thing is applicable to 1991. I have 1991 quarter 1, 1991 quarter 2, 1991 quarter 3, 1991 quarter 4. I want to tell you here that Eviews will recognize this particular data as quarterly data. Why? Because I've already programmed it here. So when I am importing it to Eviews, I don't need to tamper with anything. What I just need to do is to click on next, then the last stage, click on finish, have my data, and start my analysis. So now let me take you down again so that you can see that I have 1997. It starts from 1995 and ends in what? 1997. If you notice here that the first row has disappeared, but as an analyst, I always love to see my first row. So what I do is I highlight my first row. I highlight it, then go to view and freeze that first row so that when I scroll down, it will remain there. You can see now when I go down to 1997, I still have this particular row there. Quarter, the name of the first variable, the name of the second variable, the name of the third variable, then the name of the what? Fourth variable. Next is to show you how to import this particular file, data file, to what? To Eviews. I've already launched my Eviews. So what I do now is to just click on File, go to Imports, Import, then click on Import from File. So I will have to locate where that particular data is saved. I saved it in YouTube file. Then what next is to click on quarterly data because I saved that particular document with that name. You can see this is the name, quarterly data. So what is expected of me is to locate the name, pick it, and open. So once I open, it will take me back to the Eviews environment. So I have my data. You can see the first one here. The column is quarter, followed by the first variable MVA, followed by employment, capital and exchange rate. As I said, you don't need to change anything here. What you just need to do is to click on next. You click on next. Don't tamper with this setting. Just leave it the way it is. You have already done your work in Excel. So you click on next. You can see Eviews recognize that this is what a quarterly data. Do you know why? Because I use this particular name in the first column in my Excel. So this is the final stage, and if you take notes, you can see that this particular part cannot be changed if you understand that this particular data is what is quarterly data. So it doesn't need to prompt me to select what type of data it is again. So what I just need to do is to click on finish, and I'm back. I'm not interested in linking to external source, so I click on no. Then I'm back here. Here is my capital, followed by employments, followed by exchange rates, followed by manufacturing sector, followed added, then the quarter, which I entered in the first column in Excel. So if I want to fill this particular data, what I just need to do is to highlight the way I did when I was working on monthly data. But I want you to take notes here. You can see the range. It starts from what? 1990 Q1 to what? 1997 Q4. If you go back to my Excel file, you will see that this is the first date and this is the last one, and this shows that I have just 32 observations here. So to confirm, what I just need to do is to click on the first one, press down shift, then use my arrow down to highlight other variables. I right click on it, then I open as group. Yes, I have my data now. You can see 1990 Q1, 1990 Q2, 1990 quarter 3, 1990 quarter 4, then 1991. Here is capital, here is employment, here is exchange rate, and here is value added. So your data is ready, and you can conduct your analysis without any issue. So the final part is how to arrange annual data in Excel and how to import it to Eviews. I have my annual data already prepared, so I click and I open. Yes. So this is my annual data. You cannot see that we move from what? Look at the first column, the first row, first column. You can see we move from months to quarter to what? To year. This is annual data. This particular year indicates that the data here is what? Annual. And instead of me to have all those items added to the year in the previous one, and now I have just 1990. So this shows that my data start from 1990, and it is what? It is yearly data. It is annual data, and it ends in what? In 2021. So the first column is year, and the second column is what? The first variable. Most of the time, the dependent variable, which is what? Manufacturing sector value added. And this is followed by employment. The next column is capital, and the last column there is exchange rate. So for 1990, I have this. This is it. For 1990, the highlighted part. This is the value for manufacturing value added for 1990. This is the value of employment for 1990. This is capital for what? For 1990, and this is exchange rate. So this particular data set is what? Annual data. And I have it from what? It starts from 1990 to 2021. once I transfer this particular data set to Eviews, Eviews will pick immediately that yes, this is annual data. This guy wants to work on annual data. Let me get set. You understand that? So let's go to my Eview. Then we import as well. You click on File. You go to Imports. I have my data set in YouTube file, so I click on annual data. So you open, don't change anything here, just click on next. You click on next, Eviews will recognize that this is what? Annual data. Yes, you can see the frequency here is what? Annual, not monthly, not quarterly. It's what? It's annual. So it's recognized that this guy imported what? Annual data. So it doesn't need to change anything. It's has already prepared the grant for me. My own is just to do what? Start working and do my analysis. So I click on finish. Not linking to external source. Then I have my annual data in the Eviews environment. So the first variable here, we have a capital, we have employment, we have exchange rates, we have manufacturing, value added. So if I want to highlight everything, I press shift, then my arrow up in this case. Then I opened as group. You right click, then you open as group. You have your data. You have your data. Yes. So this is what? Annual data. What's next to do is to do your pre-test, conduct your analysis, do your post-test. Then if you want to export your results, you do so. Then you interpret, you discuss, and you come up with a fantastic paper. So that's that about arrangements of annual data in Excel and importing to what? Eviews. Of course, if you want to add more variable in Excel, you can do that. You can also do it in Eviews environment, but it's not part of this lesson. If you want to add another variable, you just enter the name of the variable. For instance, if I want to add, in this case, I want to add GDP, that's gross domestic product. I put this, then I enter the values for 1990, 1991, 1992, up to 2021. So with this, we have come to the end of today's tutorial or lesson on how to arrange time series data in Excel and import same to Eviews. Again, if you are just joining us for the first time, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon buttons to receive notification whenever we release new videos on research and data analysis. Thank you.